A museum in Toronto, Canada, tells us the story of a man who lived in the 19th century named Isipo Muisca, who was more commonly known as Crowfoot. He was the chief of the Siksika Indian tribe, and he was known for his peaceful relations with Canada during a time of great violence. When the Canadian Pacific Railroad was being built and they needed to build part of it on his land, the Canadian government approached Crowfoot with an offer. They said, if you'll give us the land we need for the railroad, you can ride the train whenever you want and wherever you want for the rest of your life. He thought it was a pretty good deal. He said, that sounds like a good deal. So they made a deal. They finished the Canadian Pacific Railroad and Crowfoot received a lifetime pass, which at the time, that was a really amazing thing. Like, there was a brand new technology. Crowfoot put the pass on a chain and is said to have worn it around his neck for the rest of his life. He was really proud of this thing. It entitled him to go wherever he wanted, where the railroad could take him. But the surprising thing is that Crowfoot never actually stepped foot on the train. He had the right to travel anywhere that he wanted, but he never actually availed himself of that right. Maybe when it came down to it, he was afraid of trains. Maybe he was just used to horses. That's all he ever knew. Maybe he just never saw the need of traveling that far. Either way, though, even though he still carried around the guarantee of his deal with the railroad, he never actually used it. There are a lot of Christians like Crowfoot. They possess God's promises. They quote them. They frame them. They hang them on their walls. They even post about them on social media. But they never actually make use of them. Charles Spurgeon once said, God never gives us a promise He does not intend for us to use. So when we read the Bible and all the promises and blessings that God gives us in the Bible, don't just read them and get to know them and memorize them, but also see how they apply to your current condition in life. And then live according to those promises and blessings that you can have in Jesus. As we've been studying Paul's letter to the church in Ephesus, we've been talking about how incredibly blessed we are in Jesus. In Him, we've seen that we're holy and blameless. We're adopted as God's children. We're redeemed. We're united. We're given an inheritance. And this week, we're going to see how we're sealed with the promised Holy Spirit so that we not only know that we have these blessings from God, but how this causes us to begin to live in the reality of God's blessings even today.